The ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Ahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Eritrean delegation addresses UN conference on maintenance of international peace and security. Training on organic fertilizer productions in ERi subzone. Chinese and Indian foreign ministers met on bilateral relations. And Arab leaders discusses Palestinian issues and Gaza's developments. On our local news, an Eritrean delegation delivered a statement during a high-level debate on practicing multilateralism, reforming and improving global governance under the agenda item, maintenance of international peace and security at the United Nations Security Council on 20th February in New York. In his address, Mr. Emmanuel Giorgio charged the affairs of the Eritrean at the United Nations, emphasized that the theme of the open debate is timely and reflects the magnitude of the challenge ahead. As the UN approached its 8th anniversary, he stressed that the need to assess the global landscape and address the crucial question, how can we build a multilateral system that truly serves all nations? Noting that the crisis of multilateralism is not new, Mr. Emmanuel underlined that its theme for manipulation and compulsion and double standards that have characterized the unipolar world order. Over the past 30 years, rather than fostering genuine cooperation, he pointed out that colonial-era tactics have surfaced, allowing the wealth of many to be siphoned by a privileged few. International law is often discarded, double standards prevail, and compulsion has replaced diplomacy, leaving countless lives shattered. Mr. Emmanuel further stated that containing subversions, military interventions, and the manipulation of conflicts have taken superiority over the fundamental principles and objectives outlined in the UN Charter. He criticized the use for illicit force measures as weapons to punish nations that defend their sovereignty and independence. For multilateralism to be effective and credible, Mr. Emmanuel stressed the need to dismantle outdated power structure and commit to a system based on fairness, mutual respect, and shared prosperity. He called for the world order where all nations have an equal voice, sovereignty is revered, and the principles of the UN Charter are upheld not only in words but in action. Highlighting Eritrea's resilience, Mr. Emmanuel underscored the immense sacrifice Eritreans have endured, first in their 50-year struggle for independence against external forces that sought to suppress their sovereignty, and later through decades of manufactured conflicts and unjust sanctions aimed at disrupting their peace and progress. Despite this challenge, Eritrea emerged intact, determined, and pillar for stability and turbulent region. Speaking on the broader regional context, he noted that the past 3 decades in Horn of Africa have been marked by missed opportunities, zero-sum games, and repeated conflicts instigated by external powers. Concluding his remark, Mr. Emmanuel emphasized that the current unwarranted global reality makes it imperative for the world to unite with greater determination, resilience, and solidarity to establish a just global order that guarantees peace and stability. He stressed that this is not a choice, but a necessity. A training of trainers program on organic fertilizers production was conducted for exemplary farmers in ERi subzone on 19th February. Mr. Muntaza Simon, head of the seed control at the Ministry of Agriculture branch in the subzone, stated that the objective of the training, which was held at Rubabur Nursery, was to enhance farmers' understanding of the importance of organic fertilizers and the negative consequences of chemical fertilizers. The training also aimed to ensure the safety and health of crops and soil. Ms. Muntaza highlighted that producing organic fertilizers is cost-effective and preferable for environmental sustainability and agricultural productivity. The exemplary farmers expressed their readiness to share the knowledge they gained with fellow farmers, contributing for the wider adoption of organic practices. Dear viewers, we'll be back with the international news shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with Indian External Affairs Minister Subrahman Jaishankar on Friday to discuss bilateral ties on the sidelines of the group of 20 foreign ministers meeting in Johannesburg, South Africa. Wang, also a member of the Political Bureau of Communist Party of the China Central Committee, recalled the successful meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Interim Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Kanza, Russia last year, which set the general direction of the improvement and development of bilateral relations. During the meeting, the two sides agrees that China and India, as two ancient civilizations and neighboring countries, should trust and support each other and help others succeed. Exchanges at all levels between the two countries have resumed in orderly manner, with the special representatives on the boundary question have reached consent on properly handling specific difference, said Wang. He noted that restoring mutual trust and achieving win-win cooperation align with the common expectation of the two people. Both sides should fundamentally adhere to the consent reached by their leaders and ensure that bilateral relations remain on the right track. On our last news, leaders of Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain met in Saudi Arabia capital Riyadh on Friday to discuss Palestinian issue and the development of the Gaza Strip, the official Saudi press agency reported. While the report described the gathering as a consultative brotherly meeting without providing details, media reports suggested that discussions were meant to focus on Gaza's post-war reconstruction to counter a recent proposal by the U.S. President Donald Trump to relocate Palestinians from the enclave and turn it into a Riviera of the Middle East, a plan widely rejected by Arab nations. During the meeting, the leaders also expressed their support for the upcoming Emergency Arab League Summit scheduled to take place in Cairo on March 4th to address the latest Palestinian developments. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Eritrean delegation addresses U.S. Conference on Maintenance of International Peace and Security. Training on organic fertilizers production in Eritrea subzone. Chinese Indian Foreign Minister met on bilateral relations. Arab leaders discusses Palestinian issue and Gaza's developments. That wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good night.